Hello, and welcome to this Let's Talk on talking about video games in general, on the whole aspects of video games, and the way they are right now, and the way I hope they will be in the future, and the past aspects of them, in which video games I fear are going, video games I fear are going on a bit of a downfall aspects of different aspects to them, at least, of the way they have been going. Like, first off, we have the whole aspects of how they pretty much, a lot of these big title games are coming out kind of broken, you know? They come out with these bugs and glitches, and it feels odd how some of these got past the Q&A of testing and everything, you know? And even if they, had a beta, how did they get past this? Even if they had a beta, that is. And that's why I think almost nowadays, with any AAA title, they should have a beta and not even have it at the times they usually have now. Because 9 times out of 10, the way they have these betas, like a month or less from the release of the game, they don't usually have time to find and fix all the problems. That's why I fucking don't understand why they have these betas so close to the fucking release of the game. I mean, seriously. Why are you doing this? Because it's pretty much not even a beta. It's pretty much just they're trying to say it's not a demo, even though it pretty much kind of is a demo. I mean, for the most part, with these betas, they're supposed to be stress testing their servers and activities and shit. But I mean, even then, it just seems like some of these games just come out broken, be it the single player, whatever aspects there may be, or just the whole multiplayer around it. Because you have versus multiplayer, you have the PvP aspects, or you just have co-op. But it still feels odd how a lot of these games have been coming out so broken, and not to mention just not on consoles, but there's aspects where they've been worse on PCs. Now, there's a question I'm going to get to later on in this video, but it seems odd. Granted, these a lot of these publishers are pushing out for these release dates, but I mean, the way games are working right now, they just release broken, and sometimes they get fixed and get better on as their game goes. Or they just don't, or get worse with some of these updates. I mean, like the Master Chief Collection, it came out broken as shit and took months, plural, to actually be fixed. And that was mainly with their connectivity, because no one could usually really connect that game. Kind of the way the GTA Online shit was going. It was broken. No one could get online, really. I mean, very few could, but for the most part, the majority of people could not get online on be it the GTA Online or Master Chief Collection when those games came out. But the difference is, GTA Online was fixed quickly, whereas Master Chief Collection wasn't, because for whatever stupid reason, they probably didn't put enough people on there who were still working on the aspects of Halo 5. But that's just my assumption. That's just me. But in general, it seems odd these fucking games keep coming out broken over and over and over again, and just why are we getting so many releases of games that are coming out broken recently? It just seems odd to me. It's like we're being forced to feel these ways about games so we can just be okay with it as time goes on, which is stupid, which we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be okay with these games becoming broken. As the wise person once said, with video games, vote with your wallets. And the one thing that we need to stop doing with games, the majority of these publishers, is stop pre-ordering games, be it physical, be it digital, be it whatever. We need to stop it, because they keep trying to give you these tantalizing extra aspects if you pre-order. Or not even just that, but pre-order from here at GameStop or Target or Walmart. We need to end this fucking cycle. We need to stop pre-ordering fucking games until they have actually come out. We wait until after that and to invest our money into these games, because a game might come out broken and you're like, well, I'm not gonna get it if it's broken. Why should I get a game that's broken? Granted, I like the aspects of this game, the ideas behind it, the way it kind of looks and everything, the way they previewed it, but that doesn't feel like the kind of copy I'm gonna get. We need to stop pre-ordering games, period. There's a few aspects in which I think would be understandable from, usually developers, in which have always come out with good product, minus the whole GTA Online, because I would say Rockstar. Rockstar usually comes out with a very good product. Rockstar, Bethesda, and I could probably even say Blizzard, even though I haven't really much played any of their games, but I pre-ordered Overwatch because from the way they've done things, for the most part, they've beta tested that shit with the public for such long, but mainly on PC. And I hated that aspect, but there probably have been console aspects that I probably could have gotten to if I looked for it, but that's just me. And they've been testing it over and over, and I've seen these YouTubers with their videos like, that looks good. If that's gonna way it's gonna be on release, with these YouTubers playing it on their PC. Granted, they have a better PC than my ass, but they have a better PC than me, because mine can barely play much regular games. Seriously, I need an update, but that's some other shit, whatever. But just in general, we need to stop, pre-ordering games, because, like with Call of Duty, I'm done pre-ordering Call of Duty. I'm not going to pre-order Battlefield no matter what they show me, what they tell me, until I officially see that it works, and it's a concept that I like, because, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, these are not games that I liked at all. I got too much into the hype, and I just was underwhelmed by these games, because like I've stated in my Call of Duty Let's Talk, I just felt like the way these things are going, it's more for these adrenaline junkie kind of video gamers, which just seems odd to me, because that's not what the core aspects of the game was when it first came out, with all these Modern Warfare and the first two Black Ops and stuff, World at War and all that shit. It's usually was always about, people on the ground, running around, shooting. It wasn't about flying and shit, jumping around doing these big trick shots and shit, because that's what these games are being mainly made for with Call of Duty. It's for the trick shots and shit, for these, cool ass videos and doing this and that and everything, The skill was about shooting in the general aspects of Call of Duty. In the beginning, it was, about having the skill with your gun and knowing the map and everything. Nowadays, it's like the whole aspects of shooting skill-wise is kind of gone out the window. With it's like you need to be more skilled with these jumpings and all these jetpacks and wall running and shit. And like that's not what originally I found Call of Duty entertaining about it. I found it was entertaining about knowing the map, knowing your weapon, and just trying to outmaneuver with the knowledge of your map and your weapon on the ground. It was never about doing all these jump trick shots and shit, which is what it feels like with Call of Duty nowadays. Like it's getting to more fast-paced aspects. Like I said in my Let's Talk, it was like a smaller, more contained version of what Battlefield kind of was. Whereas Battlefield is like these huge battles. Call of Duty is like these smaller, more condensed firefights, which was a good idea, but now it's like I said, it feels more for me personally. It's about these trick shots and adrenaline junkie kind of gamers, which is what I'm not. Call me old-fashioned, whatever. That's the way I felt Call of Duty has been, and that's where it's been good. Like I said, the sales at least can even agree with me with how bad Ghost did, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Not just and Black Ops 3, but not just it's the sales, but as well as the player base on how many people are playing from when it gets released to current time aspects. Because the unfortunate aspects with Call of Duty is, which is how stupid it kind of is how they have this whole annual release, and the market is becoming oversaturated with this shit, with them having a release every fucking year. Call of Duty is going downhill. And I think the whole 1 year release has kind of something to do with it, as well as the product itself that's being released. That's just me, at least in my opinion. But going back to the general aspects of just games itself, including with Call of Duty and everything, I feel as what the market of games is being oversaturated with is easy to win games, period. Because like I said, with Call of Duty, Battlefield, be it Rainbow Six Siege, be it a fighting game, be it a racing game, be it whatever. The way in which games are supposed to be is half fun, half challenging. That's the way games were originally designed for, and that's not the way it's becoming. They're trying to, I feel, equal the aspects of fun as being the aspects of how many wins you get or whatever, how many kills you get. but the whole aspects of challenging is being overrun by what they think is fun, which is, getting kills, getting wins, whatever, and they might get it easier and easier, I feel, for such things, and it's becoming less of a challenge, I feel, and it doesn't feel like a good game anymore with these games, like with even Battlefront, how easy it is to get a kill in those games. I feel like a lot of these games, they need to change up the formula in which they have, because they are just making it more and more and more easy for everybody to get wins, and taking away the aspects of a challenge of it, which is what games should have in their being. Games should have aspects of fun as well as aspects of challenge, but they feel that they're trying to over-equate the fun part and removing the challenging aspects. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here, I'm sorry, but well, let's take Rainbow Six Siege, for example. I do kind of have a love-hate with that game. It's kind of cool how they have aspects of realism to it. It's like it takes a few bullets in the chest to kill the person, one in the head and everything. I've always, for a while, stated how I hated that one bullet to the head thing is just stupid, but the way in which I feel they need to equate a game like that, where it's more realistic on getting a kill, is they also need to make it more of also a challenge to get a kill. Especially via distance. Like, the farther a person is from another person, the more challenge it should be to get a hit, let alone a kill. And that doesn't feel the way it is with Rainbow Six Siege. And that's why I don't see it as a good shooter, let alone a good competitive shooter, because it's just so easy to get a kill in that game. I mean, the way the guns have it, they have like a feel just without even the grip, very little kick, and with the grip it feels like sometimes they just get rid of the kick alone and make it so easy to get a kill. And that's why I rarely ever play that game anymore, because I just don't feel it to being so much of an actual challenge and getting kills. I mean, take Battlefront, for example, with its air superiority aspect of the game, whatever you want to call it, but it's air battle. They seriously dumbed down that game to make it just so easy to get a kill on whatever. I feel they need to reformat that thing. I mean, because, like, I'm not sure if I've said it before, but I think they need to change up the aspects of the hero vehicles and how they take so many hits. Seriously, they are just giving you kills with those vehicles that they will not go down, and that's even if your team comes together to try and shoot them, and that's a big if. So like I said, many times with some games, some people are just going solo, no matter what game type it is. If it is co-op, if it is multiplayer, or it's just, granted single player. People sometimes just like going solo on games. They just feel that way. Like me, I sometimes don't mind going solo on shooters, be it Rainbow Six, Battlefield, Battlefront, Call of Duty, whatever. I don't mind, trying to be a team player, but sometimes, be it I don't have friends that play that game, or it's just they're not on that time, whatever. There are many of reasons in which some person will be going solo on a game. But with that game, I swear, it feels with the hero ships, it's just so easy to get a kill with those because they don't take that much damage. And they need to change that up to where they don't have that much damage input into them. Where it's like you could probably take all the players shooting on a hero ship with, be it the guns, be it the missiles. It'll take a long time still, just from that alone, if no one's shooting at them, to take down a hero ship. I feel with that game mode, they need to extend the amount of time, or not the time itself, but the points it'll take to get a win. Because I feel those games, it doesn't really, it doesn't really feel like a good aerial battle, because for the most part with the score system on that game, the battle ends so quickly to me. It feels like I barely could do anything in those games sometimes, because it sometimes feels over after it's already started. Like it begins, minute goes by, boom, it's done. It's like, really? What? Granted, it doesn't take that quick, but it feels that way to me. I think they need to reduce the amount of damage that a hero ship can take, They need to extend the amount of points it'll take to get a win. That way these battles last longer. That way it actually feels like a battle. And I think they also, it would be cool to see if they could add in like Poe Dameron's X-Wing as a hero pickup. You know, you go down to get the hero pickup and you can choose between the Millennium Falcon, which is more noticeable, but it can take a bit more damage. Or you can take Poe Dameron's, X-Wing. Takes less damage than what this Millennium Falcon, still a bit more than what a regular X-Wing would, but has better accuracy, better hit ratio, Like, it can deal a bit more damage than a regular X-Wing. Do stuff that make it somewhat noticeable. As well as on the other side, say, I think there was a TIE fighter that Darth Vader, sorry. Darth Vader had, in the original prequels. He had his own kind of, like, X-Wing. Granted, it would still be, like, not too well noticeable. And, same with, the X-Wing to the TIE fighter to take a bit more damage to kill. It can deal out a bit more damage, a bit more accurate. Like, I think they need to change up the whole lock-on system with that game mode because it just, like I said, it's too easy. The way these games are coming is like they're just holding your hand on getting killed. It's like, don't worry, just pull the trigger right here. Boom, there. See, you gotta kill. Hey, it's good for you. It's like games, especially shooters, are supposed to have an aspects of fun as well as an aspects of a challenge. And modes like that take away the challenge aspects. They try to add it, it's like it's more fun this way. Anybody can get a kill. Anybody go. It's like, but where's the challenge? I mean, even if you try to do these like dogfight things, rarely will you ever actually get out of that dogfight. I mean, do a barrel roll, do a backflip, whatever those fucking things are, try and outmaneuver the person on your ass. Rarely will you ever actually get out of that firefight where you got the dude behind you, because usually they're always still like right behind you. It's hard as hell to outmaneuver somebody in that mode, which is stupid. Again, like I said, it's like, let's just holding your hand to get you a kill, or how easy it is in that fucking mode. That's what I hate about some of these games nowadays. They need to make it more of a fucking challenge to get kills. Now, granted, with Rainbow Six Siege, some aspect of the challenge is like you need to move silently, but you have a timer. You need to be somewhat quick as well as somewhat, stealthy. But still, they need to add in an aspect where it's still a bit of a challenge to get a kill. Because one of the issues that they had for a while is the whole spawn killing thing. Because people could just break windows, look at them, shoot, boom, dead. Like, seriously. It's still kind of a thing, though. I mean, it is. And that's one of the things I think they need to take back aspects of challenges. With the whole attacker defender on that thing, the defenders are supposed to have less of a chance to actually get a kill from a distance. And with the lack of kick on these guns, the lack of just much of a challenge on this game, it just feels pointless to me sometimes that we're even playing it, because how easy it is, like I said, to get a kill. They're just holding your hand like, oh, it's easy to get a kill. It just takes less than a clip sometimes. And I mean, it's just like, these guns, they have no kick here. It's just, there you go, you got a kill. It's like, what happened to the aspects of a game being both fun and challenging? And it's stupid. And granted, we've had like these leaks, supposedly. Now people are saying, this is what's happening, Like, no. This isn't what's happening, this is what is a leak which could be happening. I mean, look at the whole NX supposed controller. That was supposed to be a leak of what the controller is going to be. When they took it with a grain of salt, but was it actually the controller? No, the people came out and said, oh, we just hoaxed you motherfuckers, Same with the way Call of Duty Infinite Warfare thing could be a hoax. Like they're saying, it's going to have Call of Duty 4 remastered. Which in the way it looked was it could have been single player, could have been single player and multiplayer. Now it's saying, it's single player with 10 maps and everything. But still, do we 100% know that's what's going to be of the next Call of Duty? It's a leak. There's a lot of these YouTubers saying, like, this is pretty much what it is. It's a leak, so there's a probability this is going to be, Infinite Warfare with, Call of Duty 4 remastered. Like, it's a leak. It's a supposed leak. And they say, somebody took a screenshot of Infinite Warfare on their PlayStation Plus, but do we have any proof that it is what he said it was? Because there could be a possibility where he was trolling people. I mean, it's as possible as it being realistic. Yeah, still, people need to take a step back and think, this is possibly going to be something, but it also possibility could be a leak that is a hoax. Seriously. Well, okay, now we just right after I did somewhat of what I just said about the whole, it could or could not be Infinite War. It may not be even coming out with, Call of Duty 4 remastered or any of that shit. Trailer just dropped today. Today is March, not May. The second, I don't know when I said March, but it's probably because of the headache I got right now. But it's been about 3 days since I did what I just said, what I've just recorded. And, yeah, they dropped a trailer. It's Infinite War. They got the, that $80 bundle shit, which will come with COD 4 remastered with the, single player as well as 10 multiplayer maps, which I just saw, somebody on Twitter say, well, that was a good incentive. They got me in. It's like, well, that just proves the whole aspects of you being a fucking idiot. In my opinion, that is, because granted, yes, it is a good incentive, but as I've stated either already in this video or what will be stated in this video is vote with your wallets, and something that we need to start voting with our wallets aspects is the stopping of these pre-ordering bullshit shit. Now, it could be they still have some copies after the game gets released, or you can at least probably do it digitally easily enough. Probably yeah. But we need to wait. We shouldn't be pre-ordering shit. We should wait and see shit. And not to mention like how they say it's an incentive to get the new game, which is just stupid. Is because one, we should wait to see even if they release it as a single standalone aspect, which it's Activision's property. They can choose to or to not to do that. And if they choose not to, they're just showing other utter stupidity on their parts, because it'll at least give them some more money. But within the trailer itself, from what I've seen, it's like, if you would ask me, it's like, do you think this is a good game? This looks like an interesting game to you? I'd say yes. If you would ask me, does this look like an interesting Call of Duty game to you? I would say no. Because as stated in my Let's Talk of Call of Duty, I felt as time has come on, they keep changing, branding this shit stupidly for these more adrenaline junkie ass kind of gamers. I got nothing against them, but that's what wasn't originally about Call of Duty. Like I said, it was more of a smaller contained version kind of Battlefield. It's like it's a more smaller contained battle itself. It's people on the ground, boots on the ground, and the way which you always were seen as the better player in a Call of Duty game was like knowing the layout of the map, knowing your weapon, knowing how to outflank, how to maneuver, how to outshoot your opponent. It wasn't all about this trick shot and bullshit. It wasn't always about this whole, have to, do all these fucking fast movements around the map and shit and fly and all that crap. It was about boots on the ground, knowing the map, knowing the weapons. And with all these movements and shit and all this shit, where there's like the way Black Ops 3 was with the having your melee one hit thing on your secondary now was a weird change. I personally felt that was stupid, but that's my opinion. But I think of this game from when I saw the trailer to what I thought of the World War C movies. Like, it looks interesting, could be a fun game, but I feel like the way they're doing these things, they need to somewhat rebrand them, because the commonality between Call of Duty, the original way it was, to now is so different. It's just very little similar aspects to it. And as it's been stated before, it's like one thing that they need to kind of do as well is just change up their the engine that they use for the game, because it's been the same one for the longest of fucking time. Now that's kind of been a thing that's been stopped being talked about for a while, but I think still needs to be thing that needs to be stated, because the way they do it is they just like change out different parts here and there. Like my computer, it's I think about 10 years old. I can put like the newest parts in there right now, but still it's a shit computer. It ain't gonna still do good to like what would be some aspects of what can be, pulled out and put new in and shit. It's pretty much all you would still just need a whole new aspects of a computer. That's why I think they need the whole new aspects of a engine to really help them, probably better push the boundaries. Because the way they're pushing the boundaries now is just could be the whole aspects with their engine is holding them back to do even a better aspects of game. But that's just me. That's my opinion. But as I said, it's like just the way the Call of Duty has been coming along. It's just they've been changing it up way too much. I think way too quickly. They keep going trying to be more futuristic and shit. I mean, literally, this new one, Infinite Warfare, takes place in outer fucking space. That seems stupid as hell to me. Seriously, that's me. Of course, like I said, this is all my opinion and shit. But I mean, I'll wait and see. I might rent it on Redbox. Might be in the word. But I'm not pre-ordering Call of Duty. This is the first year in my steps in which I'm taking of not buying this game. For the most part, at least. In aspects until I at least see if it will do good by watching shit. Maybe renting it on Redbox, like I said. But as it's been stated before, we as consumers need to vote with our wallets. Now, as I stated before with, gaming, people say, well, it's just a game, don't play it. If it, it's like, if it's pissing you off, stop talking about it and shit, move the fuck along. Well, gaming, like many other things, is a product. If we are promised a product and they do not deliver on the product, we have the right to complain. It's saying, like I said about the whole vacuum thing, whether it's been stated or not yet. I might be getting ahead of myself. But, vacuum, if you get in, it barely ever works. The suction amount, it can suck up a cat in a split second, but you can't actually suck up a cat here. Or, say you go to a restaurant, you go to a nice fancy restaurant, and you say, hey, what? The description of this steak sounds good. Give me the steak. They bring out to you a salad. Like, what the fuck, dude? I ordered a steak. Well, this is what we got. Have at it. You wouldn't be happy, would you? No, you'd be pissed the fuck off. You paid for the steak, you just served that fucking steak. I don't want this fucking salad, I want the fucking steak. Do you have the right to complain? Yes, you fucking do, because you purchased a product. Granted, it is an edible product, but you still purchased a product. And you deserve that product, do you not? Yes. And when a game developer and publisher do not deliver on the product that they said that they were going to deliver when you went out and pre-ordered and shit, and the way it looks and everything, you have the right to be complaintive about it. Kind of like I was saying, with stuff like Watch Dogs or The Division and shit. When we made the first E3 videos of those games, look how much they have fucking changed. That's the something else we need to have developers and publishers stop fucking doing. Don't show shit way ahead in advance from when you were releasing your fucking game. Wait until the aspects in which you're gonna actually release it, then show footage. Because the way they're trying to do it with these games and everything is like they're trying to get this huge hype around it for you to pre-order, which is, as I stated, something we need to stop doing. We need to stop pre-ordering games. Period. But they keep on doing this whole hype thing, and so it's like, till you have a finished product, wait a while until you start showing footage. They try and get you so hyped, so far from our fans from when they're gonna release that product. Why? Movies don't do that shit. They will, granted, they from time to time do re-edits and shit. They kind of do it, but not to the full extent that games fucking do it. Let's talk about, say, Borderlands. When the first game was going to come out, they had this whole trailer and aspects of what it's going to look like. And then they changed it all the fuck up. It did not look anything like their first trailer at all. Because the first trailer kind of made it, be more realistic. Be more of a kind of a Final Fantasy looking kind of game. And then they changed up the whole look of it to look more cartoony the way it does. And that's something they need to stop fucking doing with these games, for one, at least. They need to stop showing you shit that, for the most part, will never actually ever be. Wait until you know what you got. Wait, because because that's probably like a 50-50 thing that's kind of hard to detect. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Because, sometimes you feel like, well, we got a finished product. A couple days go by and things happen like, you know what, we need to change shit up. We don't have a finished product. It is kind of hard to detect from time to time. Granted, I'll give it that, because like I've said about many things, I don't know fully aspects of this shit, like with games and development and everything, because I don't work in that industry. I'm just the consumer. I am not the giver, I'm the buyer. But in general, things need to kind of change with games the way they are right now, especially with us. We need to choose to stop giving in to what the developers and the producers of these games are doing. They are trying to get our money before we have the product. I mean, that's the way it is right now with, say, early access shit. And, what is it, crowdfunding and all that crap. They are wanting our money before they give us the product. Now, with crowdfunding, there's more aspects of, them trying to get the money to actually do what they want, so that, they can give us the product. Because not everybody has the money to get shit going. That's what crowdfunding is for. But a lot of these aspects of shit, of games with crowdfunds and early access on Steam at least, a lot of them don't see the fucking light of day. They don't get done. And as consumers, we really need to take a step back and think and decide and just really use our heads to make the smart decision for us. Not everybody will have the same aspects of what they want, because that's the way in which humans are, in which, in a couple of weeks out, I'm going to be doing a Let's Talk Human Beings. You have to wait to see what I have to say about that. But we as humans, as consumers, as gamers, need to take a step back. Seriously. We need to take a step back, calm down, get our thoughts together, and really get to knowing what's right to do with our money, with our wallets, with what we want in games. Because we have so many games coming out left and right, and we're just, for the most part, as being human beings, we are constantly wanting new shit, because, once we're done with something, we feel bored and we want to move on to the next thing for the most part, and sometimes. And with these Call of Duty's annual shit, which is something that we as consumers, we need to stop buying this crap and force them to do something different. Because this annual shit is not helping with us on what right games, and not forcing them to see what is right and what is wrong. Because they will see only a few bits in here and there and what we think. But when we spend our money on this shit, we are telling them what we want in that way. Because a lot of times, as they say, well, we listen to the community, we listen to the community, which is all fucking shit! Get it loud there? Didn't mean to be that loud. Sorry. We, as consumers, need to really see this for what it is. They do not listen to us VR folks. They don't really listen to the community. Because they listen to the community that they want to fucking hear. And they say, we listen to the community for this game, or for the Call of Duty games, for the Battlefield games, for the Grand Theft Auto games. We listen to our community. Rarely do they truly mean what they say. We listen to the community. For the most part, what they're saying is we listen to our community. We listen to people that agree with us, or see things that we probably should have seen, but in the general, they love our fucking games. We'll change here and there, just little bits here and there, for the people that truly love our games, because in general, we're not telling them what we want in the way that we think that we do. We are telling them that we love the game via our wallets, via buying the game. That's how we tell them how we think about their games. Because in the aspects of making games, in general, with anything, is about making money. Everything in this world, unfortunately, right now is about, well, not everything, for the most part, though, in living at least, is about making money. And, granted, I can't remember where I heard it, but I know I heard it somewhere. I'm repeating something. I'm not saying this as something I've thought, but granted, I agree with it, though. Is that the unfortunate truth is, though, about doing this, it has a 50-50 shot of, well, will come out of it. Now we have a 50-50 shot if we don't buy a game like the next Call of Duty. If we stop, we take a step back, we do not pre-order, we do not buy this game, which is this thing we kind of need to do, kind of. I'm not saying not fully buy it, just wait a while till the game's been released to buy it if we want to, you know. We need to take a step back and not buy it, but if we, for the whole community, don't buy it, two things could happen. One, they could see what we mean by what we have just done by not buying the game and saying, well, this game was, you know, shit to our community. They did not agree with the way we took the game in this direction. Granted, the way the sales are working in Call of Duty is they've come by from Ghost to Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3. Those sales have kind of been going down. Granted, it probably went from like Ghost to Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3. It probably went up with Black Ops 3 because people care more about that game than the last two, at least. But still, the sales weren't as high as they have been, probably. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. Hopefully, I'm not wrong, but I probably could be. But with the Infinity Ward's next game, Infinite War, if it doesn't sell well enough, it could be that they see that and they say, well, let's take the game in another direction. Or they see that and say, yeah, your game didn't sell that much. We're going to close down Infinity Ward. That is the unfortunate truth. It's a 50-50 shot when it comes to floating with your wallet. You could make them see that, you know, they made a poor decision on the way they took this game. Or it could be, you know, they see that and shut the code development down and that company's just gone. Activision said, you know what, you didn't make us any money, fuck you, go away. No, I'm not saying that's the way it's going to be. Like I said, it's 50-50. They could see it and say, well, let's take it in a different direction. They didn't agree with that, let's go some other way. Maybe go back to our roots. Or they could see that and say, you know, you didn't do well, we're shutting you down. But in general, just, and something else that somebody said about the whole Call of Duty and the way to try to get people invested in the game, you know, well, maybe they'll come out with these map packs of like Call of Duty 4, like remastered onto Infinite Wars. Like, you're thinking that's a good idea? No, that's not a good idea. That's a stupid idea. If they're gonna release more maps of Call of Duty 4 and the other, what is it, Modern Warfare games, and before Call of Duty 4 at least, not the Infinite Warfare shit. Because I said in my whole Call of Duty Let's Talk, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of these remastered maps over and over. It's pretty much like, especially the way, I mean, I heard of it, that person who said that, you know, Infinity Ward's being smart about all this shit, what they kind of are, but the original Call of Duty 4 came out with fucking 16 maps on the game alone, just the game itself. How many maps do they usually come out nowadays with these Call of Duties? 7, 8, maybe 9? They're coming out with less and less maps within the core game and getting your money, more of it, via the DLC. They're tricking our asses. They are straight up fucking tricking our asses to get money from fucking maps that they already have, that they could just give us via the core game. This is another reason why I think we need to take a step back and not fucking buy Call of Duty. They're fucking with us. Seriously. He used to come out with a ton of maps. Granted, like, some of them were probably shit maps, but still, they were part of the core game. And who's to say that some of the DLC maps aren't part of the core game itself, that they just get more money from you? Granted, the whole thing is like, I don't have enough evidence to say that they are, but granted, some people don't have enough evidence to say they aren't, you know? There are at least some people out there, you know, the people who made the game could say otherwise, but again, with the whole aspects of like redesigning these maps and putting them out on the next Call of Duty game, is the way things are going, like, especially with all these people who are like re-releasing these games and shit. One aspect of what I think is just a whole lack of imagination, as well as a real just whole power grab for more and more and more money from that whole aspects of nostalgia shit, you know? They want to just keep grabbing people and grabbing the money left and right with all these fucking games. It just seems very like a poor choice on both the developers as well as the consumers. It's a poor choice on them because it's showing that they have no real good ideas much, that they don't have much of an imagination when they have to keep, re-releasing these fucking maps or re-releasing these fucking games with newer graphics and shit. And we as consumers, we just don't give a shit. It's like, whoa, it's new graphics, possibly new game shit and everything. I'm gonna buy it. It's like, it's that whole nostalgia shit. Now it's kind of okay because, like, say if they re-release the Skate games, the Skate games or Bioshock is what I was gonna say. Bioshock, the original one. I'd probably buy it, true. But on the core aspects of most of these games, it's just like, I'm not sure if I really would want to buy it. Like Call of Duty 4. It's a 50-50 for me. Like, do I want to buy it? Because one, they're going to get my money for this shit, which I've already played. And two, it's like, I kind of want to buy it because, I felt like it was a better form of a Call of Duty game than the way they are now. Truthfully. I saw like a picture on it, like of like two different roads, and one was completely empty and one was completely full, and it's like the servers for Infinite Warfare and the servers for Call of Duty 4, like, yeah. But there's a lot of shit that can be said for both pro and con on these things. It's hard to really say anything truly is wrong because it's all opinionated. It's all subjective, kind of, Because as the way I feel about this, somebody would feel differently, truly. As, some people would find, I'm right, some people would say I'm wrong. It's all subjective, it's all opinionated, it's all, like with movies. Like I said, like with Batman v Superman, I found myself entertained by the movie. I felt I got my money's worth. Some people would say no, it was a piece of shit movie. I didn't. Like, it's all opinion, it's all subjective because, that's just unfortunately the way we as humans are. That's just the way things have been and are going to be. It's like, we will not always agree on everything. It's just the way life is because people are all completely utterly different. But I'm going to stop getting too much into that because it's going to be in one whole aspect of us talking human beings. But it's hard to say in truth in the end, is this a good direction in which Call of Duty's going? Am I right or am I wrong? Because it is both. I am both right and I am both wrong. Because it's all opinion. It's all my aspects of opinion, which somebody else will agree with. Someone other than that will not agree with me. But it's hard to say what we as consumers truly need to do. The only aspects in which I can think of, as I've stated, is like we need to vote with our wallets. We need to take a step back, stop pre-ordering games. Because that's how they're really fucking with us right now, especially with all these broken games. They're really fucking with us getting these all broken ass games, especially with the PC. It's like, we need to just take a step back, not pre-order game, wait until it comes out, see how it is before we spend our money on it. That's what we need to do. Because we have tons of people out there, just tons of these game reviewers and YouTubers and Twitch streamers that are going to do that. And there's a lot of them, but there's more consumers who don't do that, who watch that shit, than there are people who do that shit. And, stream and YouTube and all that crap and review shit. There's more people who watch those things than there are people doing those kind of things. So in general, for the most part of those who aren't, we need to take a step back and really wait, watch, listen, and form our opinion on aspects of it. Because granted, in the end, unfortunately, the way with games are, unlike movies or TV shows or books or whatever, until we actually have that product in our hand, until we actually playing it, we can't fully form an opinion. We can come to a close opinion on the way we feel about it, like, say, a movie reviewer. Like he says some shit about this movie, and it's like, well, can I agree with him? Because I like some aspects of his opinion and the way he stated some movies that I have seen. But until you actually fully see the movie, you can't fully have an opinion about it. Like the way I would say with, let's call it the movies. Like, I didn't mind her in that TV show. I think it was King of Queens or something. Like, I find her entertaining, but the way her movies look with these trailers and shit, The Boss, Tammy, Spy, whatever, next Ghostbusters movie, I don't find her entertaining at all with these movies. But again, that's objective because I have only seen the trailers. I have not seen the full product. I have not seen the full movie, so I can't fully give an opinion about it. It's just as close as I come to at the time of being that what I've seen, Same with games. Till we actually fully have these games in our hands and we are playing them, we cannot give a straight up full opinion about it until we play them. We can come close from watching YouTube and Twitch and all that shit. Because, with all these supposed leaks that were coming around the NX, yet nothing really true came of it. Like I said, with the controller, how can we assume that this Call of Duty thing is going to be truthful? I ain't saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm just saying people need to stop assuming one thing. You need to take a step back and think, well, this could be one thing or it could be another. Because, the same would be said about the whole Red Dead Redemption 2 and its map leak. It's hard to say if it is or isn't the actual map, or even if that is going to be Rockstar's next game. There is a high probability that it might be, somewhat, but still, I'm taking a step back and thinking, it could be the next game, but they could just, come out with the next Grand Theft Auto game. That is also a possibility. I'm not saying that it is a possibility, but it still is somewhat of a possibility that they are not doing another Red Dead Redemption game on what's going to be coming out next. It could be another Grand Theft Auto game. It is a possibility. And the same with Bethesda, There is a high probability that the next game that they have coming out is going to be an Elder Scrolls game, but we'll see. Because granted, they did Fallout 4 already, so they should be working on what would be the next Elder Scrolls game. But, hang on, sorry, I got a drink. It was kind of hurting there, but going to my general aspects of what I was originally saying, as well as some of the stuff, I think people need to take everything that has been going on with the video games and, take a step back. We need to stop pre-ordering games unless we certainly know it most likely it will probably be a good game, like, say, Overwatch. I feel my thoughts, my opinion, I think it's going to be an okay game on all around the consoles as well as PC when it comes out. Like I said, I pre-ordered it, so I'm going to be at least getting that 2-day early access to the beta. And I don't care what is stated about the next Call of Duty game. I am not pre-ordering it. I am not probably even going to buy it. I might. And that is a huge might. Rent it. I am as well as going to wait at least till I see any info about it, as well as Battlefield, because they just came out saying, Battlefield 5, they're going to be releasing actual info about it next week on the 6th with a what is that, stream? There we go, a stream. I couldn't think of the word for some reason. And, granted, like I said, I had my Let's Talk about Battlefield last week. And, I just think in general, the market of video games is unfortunately being oversaturated with two aspects of it. One being that a lot of these games are coming out broken. And that's something that needs to stop. Like I said, with these whole pre-ordering aspects things and the way they are trying to, tease you and get a pre-order this way or that way, or just, not just the game itself, on whatever store you pre-ordered at, or even if it be online, also with the deluxe edition, pre-order the deluxe edition, limited access to this shit and everything, or you get early access, you're gonna get this and this that you can't get with any other copy. Excuse me. We need to stop doing pre-orders. I feel as a whole in the gaming community, we need to stop doing pre-orders. We need to wait for the game to come out before we buy it. Because we need, as it's been stated, vote with our wallets. Because we have kind of been lacking on doing that. Like with how Call of Duty is. Call of Duty are doing big, but a lot of us have stopped playing it. Like with me, I had, granted, I had that, whole montage, but like I said, with the video, I was just going to record footage to have as somewhat of background for my Let's Talk, but granted I didn't use any of it because I feel like I want to do more of a face cam, more talking, noticing what I'm saying and how I feel. That's me. I kind of got that with Battlefield, in which I have some Battlefield Hardline video that I'm going to try and put together for a montage there, and that's the only video I'm going to have for a while with that. But I feel like we need to stop pre-ordering games as a community so we can better state on what we feel of a game, because as many times as we talk about how we feel about a game, we've played that game, and it's like, well, you voted with your wallet, you said you hate it, but you bought it anyway. It's like, yeah, well, that's something we need to stop. We need to stop buying games that we don't like. Like I stated in, I'm not sure what video, I think it was The Division, which is another game I didn't feel entertained, I didn't like it at all. I felt there was, I was overhyped and underwhelmed when it came out, you know. I was overhyped before it did, and I felt underwhelmed when it came out. Same kind of with Destiny, but I said in The Division, my review of it, is at the time I still had friends who were playing Destiny and playing the multiplayer, and it was, you know, who were screaming in anger. It's like, I fucking hate this game. And in the end, my question was, well, why are you fucking playing it then? Seriously, if you hate a game, why are you playing it? I felt kind of that way with Destiny. I kind of felt that way with Division after a while, and I stopped playing it, you know. I felt that way with Call of Duty. It's like, I hate this game. Why am I? So in the end, I felt like, well, why am I playing it then? If this is a game that is not entertaining me and does not feel fun, and why am I playing it? I'm gonna go play a game that does entertain me. I feel that I have fun with. You know, that's what I advise people out there to do. You know, if you don't like a game, you don't feel like you're being entertained, if you're getting your money's worth, if you are, mostly anger when you play that game, why are you playing it? You know. Another question I had aspects of what I said earlier is about bad PC port of, you know, the Batman Arkham City. My question is you have a choice. I'm just saying, you know, this is a 50-50 choice. Not saying that this is a possibility. Just saying you have a choice here with the game that you want to play, that you see coming out and shit. Like say Overwatch. So you see Overwatch coming out, but it's mainly been developed for console, but they're also gonna have PC. Now, you have a choice. You either have a bad PC port, which in time you have another 50-50 shot there of it either get better or get worse. But you have a choice of either getting a bad port from the beginning, that can go on either good or bad, or you get no port at all and you have to buy the game on console. Which would you choose, you know? Because that's the way some of these games are coming out. It's like they're originally developed for console, but they come out with a PC version of it, and it's just buggy and bad and just horrible to play at the start. Like I said, you have a 50-50 shot with games like that, the way they are coming out with a lot of these games, be it PC, be it console. You know, it starts off bad, but then on the road it can either get better or get worse. And we kind of say that about The Division. And with their updates and shit, the game felt bad at the beginning, but with these updates that bring out like new bugs that are just like some like screw over your game, some erase your character, which is good. But would you prefer a game that came out, be it PC or be it console as well? You know, would you prefer a game that came out bad and got possibly either better or possibly worse as time going? Is the 50-50 shots with that choice? You got a 50-50 shot what's happening, or would you not have come out there at all? And I mean, which would you prefer? Sorry, I'm drinking. But in general, what are your thoughts and opinions about games, the way they're coming out? They be it via broken, be it via how less challenging it feels to get, you know, wins in these games. I mean, granted, there's still a lot of games out there that it is an actual challenge. Get wins, to probably get kills. Like that's what kind of why I like CS:GO. That's why I kind of feel like going back to CS:GO from time to time. I feel like, granted, you know, it takes. I mean, if you actually shoot somebody with a clip of a gun, they're pretty much going to be dead. But with the way the kick goes and everything, the way the character model is and everything, it feels via more of a challenge to actually get a kill. And it feels like if I get a kill or even if I die, it's like, you know, that seems legit, you know. That's why I don't like playing much Rainbow Six anymore, because some of these character models, they're just so huge. It's like you just look down the hallway and it's pretty much that character. Boom, you got the kill. Like I said, some of these games just feels like they're just holding your hand on getting a kill. It feels less of a challenge and just like it's over forcing the aspects of what they think is fun with getting, you know, a kill. And this game is supposed to be considered a competitive shooter, and I just don't feel that way with it being so easy to get a kill. Via, the guns having like no kick at all, the character models being pretty much so big. I mean, granted, the way that it's supposed to be set up, like the more armor you have, the less momentum you can get. The less slower you are. There it is. Sorry, like slower is to run as well as to like turn, probably. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the character model should be like a huge, big-ass tank. No. Granted, they should be a bit bigger than what would be somebody who would have, like, no armor. But I don't think they should be... I feel like the character model size in that game, as well as the little amount of kick there is... person would... I remember arguing, and I was like, well, have you actually shot a gun? They don't really have that much kick. Like... One, no, I've never shot a gun, but two, I think if I actually shot a gun like one of the games, for me at least, they'd have a motherfucking kick. And in general, not everybody's going to have the same aspects to holding a gun. And like if I shot a gun, for me, compared to a person who's been trained to shoot a gun, it's kind of more kick to me than it is to them. And granted, you would probably say, with Rainbow Six Siege, there's all more, trained soldiers, so the guns would have less kick. But again, it's a fucking game. There shouldn't be so much aspects of where you pick and choose what's realistic and what's not. As I stated, I feel with a game that you take so little amount of bullets to get a kill, it's supposed to be equaled out. It's supposed to be balanced via how hard it is to even get a kill, how hard it is to even get a hit, especially via distance. And like you would say, the way Halo is, granted it's a first-person like futuristic soldier, but he's a huge ass big trained Marine, and yet still with the guns that he shoots, they still have somewhat of a kick. You have to be somewhat accurate with those guns. And that's why I think they need to change up aspects of some games here and there. Especially with shooters. In Battlefield they have this thing, I'm not sure how to change it up, or even there is a way to change it up, but like say I'm aiming at a guy, especially from a distance with a sniper or whatever. If there's somebody that, like a teammate of his that runs behind him or even in front of him, for a reason, my crosshair goes from aiming at that one guy I'm looking at to following that other person. Be it a sniper or whatever. Like, I'm shooting at one guy, but I'm like a few shots away from killing him, and the person runs by him, and I start looking that way. Like, what the fuck is that? Seriously. How do I turn that shit off? That's annoying. Why am I following somebody else when I'm shooting at this person? Because the way I think it feels like they have that whole aim lock kind of thing on, where it's like you're aim locking on person, and the game probably assumes that person that ran by is that person you're shooting at moving. But I wish there was like some form of a way to turn that off. Like I feel like some games there needs to be some aspects to where you can change things up. Like with Dark Souls 3 I'm playing right now, I wish there was a way to change up the control scheme. Like they have like the way control scheme is now is like you have to learn as you go. But I wish that I could change that because they have that whole aspect where it's like left bumper is hold up your shield, as left trigger is to like slam it. I'm not sure what the wording is for what the move is, but it's like when somebody throws they don't throw. They're pretty much slashing at you, and you hit that to I wouldn't say parry, but whatever it is like it stuns them. That way you can go in for some good slashes yourself. I wish I could change that from where I'm holding up my shield to the left bumper to the left trigger, because I feel that to be more smooth for me. That feels more comfortable for my type of gaming aspects. But they don't have any actual aspects to even look at the control schemes, let alone change the control schemes in that game, which I feel is somewhat of a short sight to that game. That's why I don't see as many people playing it. That's not one of the aspects to it. There's some other aspects to it, but another aspect to it, I feel like, granted, it's somewhat of a challenge, but it still feels kind of annoying about that game. Like they overwent the aspects of challenge to take away the fun part. Is how some of those characters in that game, they don't let up with their attacks. They just keep, like if I have my shield up, they just keep slamming me over and over and over with their weapon or whatever. Like those big, like those skinny dudes that can like burst out to these big, huge, like soulless creatures, whatever they are. They're just like black and shit, but he just keeps hammering over and over and over with attack after attack after, and my energy's drained. And some of these, with the bosses, like by the time it gets done, and before you can even like recharge your energy, whatever it is, that green bar, they're already back attacking you, so you can't really do shit. Or like, there's I'm not sure what boss it's called, But it's like you have these three swordmans. One's the boss and two are just like background, kind of like weird ass enemies that keep coming up after they get killed. But he has an attack where he like some other AI, and they have an attack where they like knock you down on the ground. And before you can even do anything good up, they're already attacking you, which is like, I know this game is supposed to be challenging, but they overdid the challenge aspect to the game, I feel, with Dark Souls 3. Like I said, there's supposed to be somewhat of a balance between fun and challenging with a lot of these games. And mainly with the shooters, like they're overdoing try the fun aspects, which is getting kills and shit. And like you have 50% challenge, 50% fun, and they're like the equation's going over more of the fun on some things, whereas with Dark Souls 3, it's like the fun's getting overdone via challenge. A lot of these games I feel need to go back to the aspects of knowing the good balance between fun and challenge. And that's probably going to be it for this. Let's talk about video games. No actual edits here, no additives or anything, because I felt like I just did this one straight through really good. Now I did say, it's going to be a straight shoot through, no edits or anything, but granted, if I would have had an edit and added in here. I just think in general here, with us as consumers, we need to watch with some of these things, because a lot of these games are to really talk about, because we have games that come out fully, be these AAA titles, be it arcade kind of games, or we have like stuff with early access and all these crowd-funded shit. I think as general, as I've already said in this video, we need to take a step back and think and look and listen and wait a bit to really form our opinion, because we're getting too much caught up into these hypes, especially with these AAA title games. Now, with some developers, it's okay to kind of get a hype because they know what they're doing. There's a few that do. I would say that probably with Bethesda, especially with their Skyrim games, they kind of did a little foot trip on the whole Skyrim Online. Not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls game, sorry. With Elder Scrolls Online. But Fallout games have been pretty okay. They haven't been, there's been a few issues here and there, but they're like few issues. Small, itty-bitty ones. Not like Batman Arkham City, fucking worthless PC port at the get-go, or, Master Chief Collection, at the get-go, just completely out of shit. They have small here and there little things. Or you could say that about, say, Rockstar. Now, I didn't fully find, you could say, what is it, GTA Online, GTA 5's online aspect is okay, but they kind of fell a little short there with some stuff. Granted, like I said, I could, via my Let's Talk GTA, nitpick here and there, little aspects and shit. But in general, Rockstar, Bethesda, some Take-Two games. I don't know if I can say about Take-Two, because Bioshock was good. Bioshock 2, I found actually was entertained by it. A lot of people say shit about it, but that's your opinion. I found it was entertaining. And then they had Bioshock Infinite, which I have yet to even complete, I think, but I found myself entertained by that game. I got my money's worth. But in general, as I have stated before, as I'll state again for the last time here, we as consumers need to take a step back and vote with our wallets. Because as much as we think we are informing the developers and the producers of these games, we probably aren't as much as we think we are with our focal aspects on the Twitters and Facebooks and whatnot on these videos. Because we see these videos like we listen to our community. Well, yes and no. That can't be fully stated aspects, because a lot of times with these developers, we listen to the community that agree with us. Because a lot of times they barely make changes here and there on our opinion. Really. Because in the end, as it's been stated, they hear you more with how you spend your money. So that's why this whole aspects of thing is come out, vote with your wallets. And that's what we need to do with a lot of these games, be it AAA titles to early access games. We need to vote with our wallets. We need to take a step back and really think about shit, because the problem is we get, all these trailers and gameplay footage and shit, and we're just looking at the game, we're just like jerking ourselves off and shit. Like, we are getting this overhyped shit just being bombarded with us, and we're not taking a step back to think, well, could this be good or could this be bad? Because we just see this shit, like, we're just like, just start out like, and we're not really thinking with our brains. We're just overcome by this whole hype shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna get it. Like, it's one of those aspects of emotions. We need to stop, take a breath, calm down, really look over shit and think. Because you can see that about certain emotions that really fuck with our brains, that we need to take a step back and think. With that, with hate, with love, because some of these emotions just over bombard us with shit and we don't think straight. It can actually be stated about video games. We get just this feeling of just excitement about these games that we just go straight out and pre-order them. We need to stop doing that, as I've stated many a times. Pre-orders, we need to end that shit in a way they're doing it. They're really fucking with us with these pre-orders, especially with, like, there's this thing you will never get unless you pre-order, or, you have to get, the only place you can get this if you pre-order over here at Target, but you have to get this thing over here at GameStop, or over here at Walmart. Like, having all these variety of pre-orders at these variety of different areas to buy the product, they're fucking with us and they're enjoying it. Seriously. That's why we need to stop with the pre-orders. They are fucking us in the asses, and they are enjoying it while we are in the other position just saying, God, make it end. And yet we just keep going after it over and over and over and over again. It's like, they're gonna fuck you over, but you just let it happen. This, in the way the game world kind of is now, is becoming an abusive relationship. We are getting battered, but we're okay with it. It is something that needs to stop. Now, I'm not saying it's the high extent of shit, like, say, a battering relationship, which is something that's fucked up, and I've never seen that shit happen to anybody, ever. Just ever. No one should ever be battered. Because you think, well, granted it's mostly women, but some men can be battered. I could probably get my ass kicked by a woman. No doubt there. But, in general, with games, we need to stop with the pre-orders, because we are allowing the developers to fuck us over, because we are giving them our money before we get the product, and that needs to stop, period. They're coming out with games that we do not enjoy. They're coming out with games that are broken as shit. They're coming out with games that are not what they promised us, and we are giving we are giving them our money before we get the product and know what we are getting. And that is something that we, as the consumer, needs to stop. We need to stop allowing these hype train shit get overexcited and buy games that in the end we do not enjoy. It is just something that we need to stop. We need to take a step back, breathe. That's the simplest thing I can say to anybody right now that is getting hyped about any game. Take a step back, breathe, relax, and think. Do I really need this game? Do I need to pre-order it? And the answer indefinitely will be no. Just wait. Simplest thing you can do. Just wait. Because people are just always wanting that whole new thing. They need that new thing. And that's the unfortunate truth about games, which, like a lot of any products with phones nowadays, is we're just getting too overhyped about shit that we don't know how well it's gonna be, or if we're gonna find that we spent our money and got our money's worth. That's something I feel we need to stop. We need to stop giving people money. I keep saying giving me money, whatever. Sorry. We need to stop giving these companies our money before we get the product. Simple as that. Just plain simple. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about games, how they are now, and how you'd like to see them in the future, and what you think should be changed here and there. Be it any game franchise, be it just in games in general. What's your thoughts? What's your opinions? I hope you were informed and entertained in this video. And I hope you have a rockin' suckin' day. Peace.